What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Verse Crypto channel. We have another awesome pDAI Thursday live stream. Actually, let me back it up. Happy pDAI Thursday. As most of you guys know, I've been doing one of these every single week where we talk about PRC20s, from pDAI to wrap Bitcoin to even altcoins on the Pulsechain. And for this pDAI Thursday, I have a special guest where we're going to be jumping into an awesome altcoin that's been taking the entire Pulsechain ecosystem by storm. And its mascot is probably one of the friendly visitor to Earth. It's a little alien. It's a great alien. It's called pTGC. So I want to welcome to the stage my homie, my brother, Coach X. What's up, brother? How we doing today?
Doing great. How you doing?
Doing good, man. You know, a lot of stuff's been going on the Pulsechain. The price been upticking. pDAI's been trading sideways. HEX has been, actually getting a lot of value in Ethereum. Coach X, what's your overall thoughts of what's going on right now in the Pulsechain ecosystem?
Well, right now it's just people just reacting to some good news when it comes to the markets. I want to say to that and kind of giving the hexagons and Pulsechans more hopian about kind of like the sticking with the major three RH tokens. But ultimately, I think what's really going on is more and more eyeballs are just coming over the Pulsechain ecosystem from a different kind of lever and a different kind of connotation of actually onboarding people without green candles, but actually builders in the ecosystem. So that's what I would say about the the markets right now of Pulsechain. So
Absolutely. We've been seeing the launch of new projects. We see dexes, we see meme coins, we see Dow tokens. It's actually pretty wild time to be on the Pulsechain, and the next few months, a lot of bullish sentiment. Some people say we're trading sideways. Now, we got the SEC lawsuit coming up on, I believe it was November 28th. SEC going after Richard Heart. What's your overall thoughts on the lawsuit, and what are some things you think we should expect from that outcome of that lawsuit on November 28th?
So I had a pretty good conversation with a pretty good friend of mine about the whole concept of the SEC, and I just tell him, I just go, can you sue a blockchain? Can you sue technology? Can you sue the internet? Honestly, you can't do that. And kind of like what the SEC has taken part and considered that Richard Heart and raising all these funds for PulseX and Pulse itself, having it being called or like using their money in a negligent type of way. And if you look at the blockchain and you look at what the OA wallet's actually done, there's nothing there. So like I just call it a nothing burger. And honestly, it's just going to get more eyeballs to Pulsechain. It's going to get more eyeballs to Richard Heart. It's going to be more eyeballs to HEX. And ultimately, it's just going to just like be more. It's going to be more. It's going to be better off for the whole ecosystem of itself than if the SEC didn't actually happen, the lawsuit, in my opinion. So, and it got people in at the very, very bottom if you're smart, and now you have a sacrifice bag that is like a 10x from to the sacrifice. So you just 10x or that price, and then from there you never know what's going to happen. So ultimately it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I like about this. Well, I don't like the lawsuit first and foremost, but with this event, this is something everyone's got to keep their eye on, because there's very well a good chance that we might get good news out of it. I'm not really big on lawsuits. I don't know how this stuff works. I'm not a lawyer, but ultimately we just hit the mass FUD event. Any good news behind that lawsuit in favor of Richard Heart or the Pulse ecosystem it's going to make Pulsechain bullish in my opinion. So definitely really great thing to keep an eye on. Now, we got to talk a little bit before we get into pTGC, talk about, aliens and the firmament and all this good stuff. I have to ask your opinion about pDAI and Atropa because it's been trading sideways. We had this massive hype up. Well, we had a massive run, let's say about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've been trading sideways. What do you think is going on?
Honestly, it's just like it could be a couple of things. It could be the Maria thing coming out, people looking at those kind of conversations and kind of just like the speculation isn't there for them anymore, or the amount of like the haters coming in and just hating on, oh, it's never gonna go, it's gonna go to zero. And I hear that rhetoric a lot from a lot of like hexagons or pulsecans going on to like different spaces, and there's just like no, it cannot go to zero. There is too much of a liquidity bond. There's too much of a web intertwined with all these different contracts that it's kind of laughable. And I actually posted a tweet today, and I was like, or in the tweet this guy is talking about is just like, sometimes you got to learn how to let stupid people win arguments. And it's just like, just sit on your hands, or like just listen and just let them just spew out just like just bunch of just baloney. And when you really understand the bigger picture, and you really understand blockchain, and you really understand like going into the different LPs and actually looking at what the blockchain is speaking to you, then you ultimately understand what's going on. And it's like, at the end of the day, people just, there was millions of dollars sent to MakerDAO contract that came onto Pulsechain and changed things on Pulsechain for millions of dollars for pDAI, and it's just like, come on. And there's videos of Richard Hart saying, I got a phone call. There's a bunch of people planning to do stuff. He said the whole thing about, yeah, there's a person that's gonna make MakerDAO or have a MakerDAO replacement to give us DAI on Pulsechain. This is like, it's like, and when the hexagons and pulsecans always just talk about it, it's just like, we bring that up, and they're like, nope, I don't remember that video. And then I show them the video, and then they just like, well, I don't believe that a video at all. That's AI.
That's AI.
Or something like that.
No, hey man, you brought up some great points. I actually created a video just outlining the entire pDAI pegging theory, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but
yeah, I saw it.
Okay, you saw it, yeah. So I put it out there, and all it was just the meat and the cheese and all the facts. And I had so many of them come in and say that you can't arbitrage pDAI between PUSDC. I was like, dude, just go read the MakerDAO white paper. It talks about it.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely asinine. We're like denying facts or whatnot. But you brought up some great points. pDAI is a long-term vision. This isn't just a quick, short-term, make money fast scheme. Going on to next bull market, we'll start to see this ecosystem build out. And if you can see on my screen here, we're still up 25x from that initial run up. So it hasn't crashed at all, and it's actually looking pretty good. And believe it or not, these are the types of coins you might want to consider looking at, because nobody's talking about them, but sooner or later they're going to start talking about them. Now, one last thing before we move over. We got the Pulsechain Oracle launch. There's a lot of speculation, and I know, and if there's one person that likes to speculate, it's me, and I know you like to speculate. Do you think the Pulsechain Oracle will have any sort of impact on pDAI, in your opinion?
I did a little bit of research on this a couple weeks ago. Um, some of my remembrance of it. It's not going to be like detailed to the full extent, but like I feel like it's gonna have some kind of effect, because especially to all the ERC20s in my prediction. And um, I have to reread it. It's like I said, it's been a couple weeks, but it's gonna have some kind of effect in um, a certain way. I don't know exactly what that way is gonna entail, but I feel like what is being built behind it already in the like PUSDT T and PUSDC. Uh, Basically, there's going to be some kind of, if anybody knows what oracles actually do, it's going to have some kind of comparison on here on Pulsechain as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing I want to add, there's actually some ERC20 protocols when you go and research that have backup instances when the oracle goes down and can pick up a backup oracle if it comes online on the blockchain. Now
Mm-hmm.
there's a few that if you guys do a little research you can figure out. I don't want to say on this live stream because it's such a massive jump, but I'll tell you offline. So, but yeah, now let's get into pTGC. Let's talk about aliens, man. First
Yes.
and foremost, is Earth flat or round? I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that question. So we had pTGC launch. I saw it on X or Twitter. I'm just calling Twitter. I don't like calling X. And I looked at the price chart. I look at the LP pools, and I see this wallet with a massive amount of LPs. And I was like, dang, this is a Atropa 2.0. I get in. I talk about it on X.com, and we're starting to see a community build out. And the next thing I know, I see you become a community ambassador. So can you kind of walk up when you first found out about pTGC and how you came to be a community ambassador?
Well, so basically the the Grays, he's actually in here. My buddy, he was from the Zen community, and basically we met on Spaces, and then we realized we were like 10, 15 minutes away from each other. So of course went to dinner, grew a friendship, been to his house, met his wife, met his kids. He's met my kids, met my wife, and that kind of relationship just like grew and grew. Phone calls. Hey, what are you jumping in now? What are you? Did you get pDAI? Did you get Atropa? But basically, a little backstory on kind of like how I came into the picture. I'll just give a little backstory. So he launched the Grays currency on Ethereum about 2 to 3 years ago. It's still operational, still functional over there. But the whole problem of it is just it costs a lot of money. So when people were actually doing proposals, it was costing like $5. If somebody was casting a vote, it's like $2 or depending on the GUI at that time. So the cost effectiveness over there it's not really doable when it comes to like a DAO type system. He actually so he did that. Then he launched another project. So for the Zenians, which was TG Zen. So basically, what you did was burnt your Zen for TG Zen. And the cool thing about that, he was actually already planning on launching TGC or PTG or TGC on Pulsechain, and ultimately those the first 48 hours, whoever burnt actually got an airdrop of pTGC on Pulsechain. But so that's kind of like the backstory on there. But like right before, so he gave me a call maybe a couple weeks before it was about to be launched. And he was just like, "What do you think about what's going to be happening with TGC, or what do you think I should be doing when it comes to pTGC and kind of game planning, and then he started talking about different ideas, and then ultimately it was like maybe like day 2, day 3, day 4, something like that. I can't really remember, but we went to dinner. He kind of just brought up the thing. He's like, why? It was like, instead of just having one like LP where people can, that's where you get the volume of creating the funds for the DAO. Why create like multiple liquidity pools that kind of just do the arbitrage? And he was in Atropa and pDAI, so he has the understanding of what was really going on. And in that same conversation, I brought up like the idea of like the A1A, you know, and like how they're doing the things and having hundreds of different LP pools and that kind of sentiment. And they have like a one. Sorry, I was trying to read the comments, but like a 1% reflection. So with TGC, like it's the tokenomics explains for itself. 1% in reflections to the holders, 1% to the stakers, 2% to the DAO, 0.5% going to the that V1 LP. Essentially, that's where the most of the transactions go to, because once there's those transactions, like the 2% has to go through that metric to collect that pulse and then send that to that DAO contract. But like we kept on talking, and he kind of like he's like, yeah, there's another guy or another individual he was like been talking to, and that was like the other guy's he's talking about the 808 and kind of like the master plan. And ultimately, if the whole sole purpose in the mission is to burn as much liquidity, so we were talking like, why do we just keep the liquidity liquid or something like that if we want to take it out? And then I was just brought up the idea like the 404, if you want to have some kind of valuation or value on chain, that that pair, once you burn that liquidity, it's valuable forever. It doesn't really matter. Anybody can say it's going to go to zero or anything like that, but if that liquidity pairing is that thick, it's going to just follow whichever it's paired to. So we're kind of going over some charts, but like if you look at the HEX chart or the Pulse chart or the PulseX chart, it looks exactly like the pTGC chart. If you actually look at like the last couple of days, like the blow off, if you like see the blow off top of HEX, it has the same kind of thing, you know. It's like
right. So it's like creating this really cool price floor with those liquidity pools that you were talking about. Very interesting. So would you say that you guys took what the 414 wallet address did and made it a little bit better? Is that a good assessment?
Yeah, everybody's gonna have their own like opinion about it, but like at the end of the day, it's like TGC. Like I kind of connect it TGC to like pDAI, and we can talk about the 3 contracts I think we're going to talk about in a little bit, but like the same kind of antidote of Atropa to your pDAI, that's what we're coming out with 3 other contracts. That's sole purpose is to help out pTGC as a backstop, but also have a purpose. And it's like one of those tokens where we're like going to be like, honestly, don't buy it. We're going to give you a free airdrop if you stake. And the tokenomics explain for itself. And this is for the community members, because like there is, we can talk about that a little bit more, but that's what I was just like thinking. And then the last couple of nights, I've been doing a lot of work of trying to connect with my network just talking to people and getting the word around and just maximizing what capabilities that I can do for the community and for pTGC of it a whole. So that's what I would say to that.
Okay. No, yeah, really great breakdown of what pTGC is. So based on that breakdown, let's just get into what is the main purpose of pTGC. It's a DAO, and we have an investment fund. So are we looking for, price appreciation, or are we looking to create a new approach to decentralized investing? Like, what, just like in a very simple term, what is pTGC?
pTGC is going to be the most liquid DAO ever created.
Okay, gotcha. So we're going, okay, gotcha. Awesome. So with these LPs coming out, I saw HEX, PulseX, pDAI, Teddy Bear. What's this? Is there a strategy behind the LPs between each tokens, and what is that strategy basically?
Well, so basically, like the strategy behind that is ultimately we want to be connected to the most or that has the most volume and assets that are volatile. The reasons for that, the volatility aspect is just going to create more arbitrage opportunity for the bots, which basically is going to give more volume for pTGC, for stakers, holders, for the DAO, for the burn. I think we're almost at 3%, and that's around $8,000 to $10,000 already gone, wiped out, clean. And
Wow.
we're not even talking about the liquidity. So yesterday, I actually let me share my screen real quick, but like yesterday I made this little spreadsheet, just like the DAO proposals. But if you add all these funds up, that's about $14,000, $14,000 to $15,000. And ultimately that's burnt. So, and it's all paired together. So, and everybody know it's on V2. So all the fees are going to go to those pairs, which is just going to, whichever pair it's going to, it's going to help that floor price of that token plus TGC. It's going to just raise that floor. It might do it slowly. And then once we get to the market caps where the volume level starts to get a little bit up there and everybody understands the different, you can buy and hold, you can find the different ratios. I've talked about that in multiple or a couple of streams, talked about it on Spaces, but there's so many opportunities that you can actually do with the TGC token. And one of the community members actually came up with a concept of actually like staking. It's more like a miner in a way. And I was like thinking about that. And I was like, if you really think about it, it's kind of like a miner, because like that's the volume that you're receiving in TGC and you're holding that. So that's where like the thing is just like maybe like with that, it's just like you compound half and then you sell half. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get mad at individual selling. It's a free open market. And
Well,
it was just go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I'm sorry. Well, the one thing I want to point out there is, I like how you make that point about, everyone should always be encouraged to make profits, but what gives pTGC value is volume, buying and selling. There's a tax behind it. We have deflationary mechanisms behind it. We're basically adding funds to the DAO. The DAO is going to be used for strategic investments between LPs that can be burnt. So overall, buying and selling this, even selling this token, still supports the pTGC token price.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's get a little bit into the arbitrage bots and how pTGC is incentivizing arbitrage bots to buy and sell from each LP pool, and how this adds so much value to the pTGC token.
Mm-hmm. So let me show my screen again. And I'm just going to go straight to the HEX chart pick. Let's go to, so this is just with the pulse, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
So looking at that, we can look at the market cap 441, but let's go to the HEX chart. But like, look at that candle. You know what I mean?
Look at that wick.
So
Wow.
if we go into it, we can probably go and see when that occurred. But as you can see, these are just all bought smart contracts. And we go down the volume level. So this actually started, we'll see where that chart, I think that was about right here. But like, see how there's that $500 sell. Looks like it was probably a human, but like right after, buy. Same thing. And then another bot sold, maybe trying to undo or trying to figure out or do the ROI from that transaction. And then it's just like, you can just go down the list. Let's go to like the DAI. Like the DAI, there's not that much volume level there, but and $500 is $500. You know what I mean? Some reflection tokens only have less than 10K in volume, and it's only with one pool. But if you just add up all these different pools, then bada bing, bada boom. And then also I want to point this out, like the market cap from or with this pair is at 422. So people could actually get a better deal buying through pDAI than the Pulse pool. And then look, same thing with Atropa. Same kind of price point. But
Right.
the metrics are just, if you just look at all these, basically all bots besides probably this guy right here. And if we just keep on going down the list, let's just go to Mega. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Mega, so that's $300. So that's benefiting us, and it's benefiting Mega because they have a 3% tax, and that's only with a 2K in volume right there, which is 100% burnt, which is just going to be kind of doing that uptick of like collecting the fees, which basically raises both ships together.
Yeah. You know, this is what I love about pTGC, because reflection tokens don't do well. Not many people like to increase their slippage and have to eat some of that getting into a token. But what's really interesting is these LPs created that volume behind pTGC, and some of the price action does not look human. It looks like it was from bot action. I remember watching this price steadily increase, and since like pTGC has been gaining traction in the Pulsechain community, we haven't seen a major drop off in price yet. So that shows you that there's a lot of the community that's right now in pTGC. It's really small. And number two, we're getting a lot of bot action, which is awesome. And I think this is going to continue as we go down the road and we get more proposals rolled out. Now, getting into you know, the DAO and the proposals, can you walk through us like how the DAO works for someone who doesn't know what pTGC is?
Yeah, so basically how the DAO works, let me just share it real quick. Maybe I should just share my screen the whole time. But basically how the DAO works, as you can see, there is roughly about $850, $900 of pulse in the DAO that anybody can, the top 100 or stakers can actually make a proposal. So if you go in here and we go, and you can actually see the top staker list, and you can see everybody who is actually holding. So like the top, the other day, actually, the staker list actually got higher. I think it was about like you could have staked only about 30 million TGC, and we're able to actually make a proposal. But from that, what I would say to that is we want to like kind of like safeguard some of these funds. So like there was a proposal that was actually defeated. So there's actually these kind of three proposals. So this was defeated, this defeated, but this one was also defeated. And I kind of like brought up the light when I went into this person's wallet, because let's go back to the active ones. Let's look at this like degen protocol. Can I go into this? Reload. I could go into that. But if we go into like the degen protocol, it says the go feeder, and it's like, all right, cool. What is what's actually go into the degen? It's like there is a liquidity pool there. So where's it go? There it is. So let's look at the goat. There's only $300, but there's only $10 in volume. Right there. So it's just like, what are you going to be doing with these money? It's not that much. It's like $50-$60, but you go into this wallet, and we just click here, and then we go look at the tokens. Oh, now he actually bought back in.
So he wasn't in it before, and then you went back and he actually bought back in.
He like made the proposal, and then I don't know. He made the proposal, and then I was looking in his wallet, and he was only showing this is actually no. Okay, wrong person. Let's go back to the Dow. Let's go this. Defeated. One more. Let's go and look at. So like this person made a proposal, about $100. But if we go into their wallet, they only have like 201. So they like staked, made a proposal, and dashed, and we're not going to be wanting individuals to do that kind of stuff. So that's where the concept of the remember the mission is the big phrase, because the sole objective right now for the next like month, 2 months, is just burn as much liquidity, and then it's just like the best marketing tool. And then if somebody tries to shit on pTGC, they can't. It's just like, all right, there's $50,000 burnt. Actually, it's more like $100,000 that is burnt, because we're not even talking about the ones that my buddy burnt and the 808's already burnt. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and it also like when it comes to like, never mind. Well, I was gonna go into something else, but let's just keep on.
Yeah. Well, I just want to just say one thing. pTGC, there's a massive price correlation between it and Pulsechain now. So regardless of what everyone says, when Pulsechain goes up, that token's gonna skyrocket. It's like a marriage on this blockchain, which is pretty cool. Now, getting back into the DAO, so someone can go up, put a proposal in, and say, "Hey, I want to do an LP between HEX and pTGC." If it gets approved, are the funds sent to the person's wallet and they do it, or is this all done through a different wallet?
So if we actually go, pTGC. I don't know why it's up my screen.
I bring it up.
But yeah, so basically, like if somebody makes a proposal, that those funds actually go to that individual's wallet once they claim it. Let's just say that somebody made a proposal and then 7 days later it got voted yes, but that individual kind of like forgot about it, and they come back like a month later and they're going to have the funds in there if it was approved. Some of the proposals that have been going on, they've been just straight up just saying sending to the 808 burn LP. So it's just like it maybe like some of the conversations that we've had about that is just like those people that are making those proposals and just saying, I'm going to send this to the 808. I'm just going to put my hands up in the air. Like, I don't want to have responsibility. I don't want to have like the urge of taking away from the DAO itself and actually sending it to the 808 and the 808 doing whatever they want and please, and making sure that it's done properly. If people don't do it correctly, sending it to the correct debt address or sending it to another wallet or something like that, I think people would trust the 808 or even the OA wallet more than a bystander. But even at the rate of let's just say that there was somebody actually tried to be malicious and they said, I'm going to burn LP between, I don't know, HEX and TGC, and everybody approves it. They get sent the funds, and they go and cash it out or something like that, or buy PulseX, which I don't know why you would do that right now, but actually, yeah. I would say buy a little bit, but maybe that wallet we'll, like, as a community, we put it up and be like, all right, whoever owns this wallet, the next proposal you're going to do is just going to get shot down. Like, goodbye.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you could always like blacklist the wallet. I don't know the process. Oh, you can't. Okay, never mind.
Well, we're renounced and we don't have those opportunities. And I wouldn't want to be, or like myself, if I was the founder of a project, I wouldn't even want that opportunity or speculation to distrust people, to actually, like Pepe had, like they can blacklist wallets. There was like a wallet that had $25 at the beginning and was like $2 million when it was at all-time high. So it's just like,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's something. So definitely really good points. Now the next one we need to talk about this 808 wallet. I see a lot of alien photos. I see the 808 in numerology. 8's the number of money. Coach X, what is the 808 wallet?
It's the yin yang, like it gives back to receive. It gives back to receive. It gives back to receive. But it basically, what it's going to be receiving is just ultimately the ultimate like mic drop on all of Pulsechain and Hexagons. Like, that's the ultimate goal. That's like we were at dinner and we were talking, and I was just like, this freaking guy is nuts. Like, I don't even know how the conversations like between them two, because like they've had conversations, and we've had like a couple conversations with him, myself, and like my buddy and him. It's a him. So if somebody comes out saying their name is Ashley, it's not Ashley. I actually don't know this person's name, but it's a dude's voice. So it's not Maria. Not sound like a name. No. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I got you.
But at the same time, it's a good like marketing tactic to especially with the 414 and kind of like the following that I have. I actually brought up like the thing. I was like, you guys should start to be like, what the 808 gonna do now? Which burn is gonna be happening, and you know what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it seems like it's just a benevolent force that wants to see pTGC do really well. And it goes back to these same concepts where, when was the best time to own Bitcoin? When Satoshi Nakamoto owned 85% of the supply. A lot of these tokens that typically do well, they always have these really large wallet holders, and the large wallet holders don't want to destroy a project because in turn it screws them over. And so when I first saw the AOA wallet and all these LPs, my mind was actually blown, dude. I started writing stuff down. Like I got a black book with all my crypto stuff. And no, I'm not gonna show you guys my keys. And I was trying to like draw like a little photo and a little picture and try to connect stuff and just do like math and science. And then I was just sitting there, I was like, dang, this is crazy with all the LPs going across. So I think overall it's a really cool concept. Whoever's behind it, which is a dude. It's not Ashley, but I'm sure we could see positive things coming out of it. Now, let's talk a little bit about this roadmap. You got some token launches, and I'm really excited to hear about it. We got 3 new tokens launching if you stake your pTGC tokens. Coach X, could you break down each of these tokens and what they're going to be used for?
Yeah, so it's going to be 3 contracts. And this was actually, I went over to Buddy's house, grilled, pickleball. But we started talking about like, well, what are some like other things that we possibly could do? And we started just brainstorming and came down to like what we were talking about, like one token, like the pDAI or the Atropa to pDAI, and we're just like, you know what, like, why don't we just make some kind of thing that's just going to be supporting pTGC? And there's some other game theories that I kind of like talked about too. I'll get more into that here in a second. But talking about the 3 contracts, one of the contracts is literally it's called liquidity. It's just going to be called. It's just the liquidity token. So basically, let me see. Let me just get the tokenomics correct. So I don't want to say the wrong thing. So 2% of the liquidity is going to go to between pTGC and the liquidity pool. And then 2% of the LP is going to be going to Pulse and liquidity. And then 1% is going to be going to Pulse rewards or reflections or whatever you want to call it. The reason why we put the Pulse rewards is you're ultimately going to have to vote. And you're going to have to vote. You're going to have to, if you want to make proposals, to be a part of the DAO experience and being part of the community, you're going to have to, it's going to cost pennies, but we thought it would just be like the irony of just like, here's a free airdrop. If you don't want to, if you just like think of these tokens, you can sell it. Like, go ahead, take your $10 and go somewhere else. It's just going to amplify the the volume metrics there. So it's like cool, or it's there for the taking and you can just receive the rewards. The next token is literally called the burn token, and 3% goes and buys and burns the burn token on every single buy and sell, and then 1% goes to pTGC and the burn token. So that's strengthening that bond of itself. So of course, creating that floor, rising that up every slowly and surely, and then also another 1% pulse rewards for that. Same kind of concept of rewarding the stakers and just giving more pulse to the community as a whole. Then also there's going to be, it's called the 808 token. And basically what the 808 token, 1.5% fee is going to go to the 808. Basically what that's going to do is just going to help out the 808 actually build more and more liquidities, not just having to wait for the proposals coming out, or not really, or waiting for the proposals to come out, or even if like there was somebody else that made a proposal that wasn't really benefiting the DAO, at least there's some kind of funds coming in that has the right things that they want to do for their TGC. And then 1.5 is going to go to the A34 wallet, which is the OA wallet. And then there is 1% buy and burn of pTGC. So literally it's just going to burn that to that 369 wallet. And then 1% is going to go to the Pulse, not the Pulse, but the pTGC and 808 pool, which is just going to rise that up.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot. That's awesome. So getting into this tokenized structure here, I'm gonna do a quick screen share just so typically people like it when I draw stuff, even though I can barely draw. So basically how this is going to be set up is we'll say this is TGC. Put a little P right here, right? So we have pTGC, and basically I think the main parent's probably going to be between Wrap Pulse. Now for these other tokens, you said there's 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll have like one with pTGC. I think one you said was like the 808 right here, and then I guess I'll just call these other 3 tokens A, B, and C just for sake of time. A, and then B, and then C, and then all these are going to be plugged into TGC as an LP pool. So now this is interesting because what we're starting to see is if you're going to create a thick liquidity pool between these pairs, this is going to really incentivize a lot of trading bots to come in and basically utilize each of these pools to do arbitrage opportunities back to the main pTGC and Wrap Pulse pool. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you about, we have token 808 and these 3 other tokens. Do you think there's going to be a possibility where you're going to create thick LPs under these tokens after you launch these tokens and kind of form something? Yeah, go ahead.
So let me talk about like kind of like the air or how we're going to be like sending out. So it's just going to be one mint. It's not like the NV token. I promise you guys that. But so like roughly about 15% is going to be going to the stakeholders, and then basically what we're going to do is 20% is actually going to be connected with A and B, and then A and C, and then B and C, or C and B, and C and A. So they're all going to be connected together as well. So that's going to be, so it's going to be 20%, 20%, 20%. And then with Pulse 10%, and then with like tsfi, pDAI, Bear, and Atropa, that's going to be about 3% of the liquidity on each. So basically what's we're doing there is basically almost everything is in liquidity. So besides the 15% that's going to be airdrop. So essentially there's only going to be so much in on the open market. But that's just like what you said was just, it's just going to amplify the volume metrics, because each contract has its own purpose. Like the liquidity or the liquidity token, it's just going to build that liquidity as much as possible. And then the burn token is just going to burn. So that burning is just, it's just,
go ahead. Sorry.
There's a lot of math to it, but
Yeah, man. You know, I really enjoy math. I do it all day for a living, and seeing how you break these token structures down, this is going to be interesting because you have pairings between A, B, and C, and then you have the main pairs between pTGC. And so essentially, even though you're adding 4 new tokens, you're actually going to be adding 8 new liquidity pools in essence. And then you also mentioned bringing pDAI and wrap pulse. Now, one question I wanted to ask you about, when we look at traditional 414 wallet address, the developer behind that created LPs so that liquidity can get trapped, and basically you would need to be like clicking all day to get basically from, for example, tsfi all the way to wrap pulse. You had to go through tsfi, Atropa, pDAI, and wrap pulse. It seems like in this token structure you have some out routes into wrap pulse through all these tokens. Why did you use this approach instead of the traditional 4-on-4 approach?
Well, we only actually have only one of them that has a out route. But anybody that wants to make a liquidity pool with like Pulse or something like that, I'll give you like an example. Like when we originally launched, somebody put some liquidity with the V2 pair with Pulse. It wasn't us, or it wasn't my buddy or the 808. Myself, I put a little bit of Pulse and TGC liquidity in, but it just, like, as these contracts start out, there's going to be ways that people are going to want to exit, and everybody should understand, once you get into any kind of coin, you need to figure out what's your game plan, how long you're going to hold, what's your exit route, and how you're going to accomplish this. And basically with the exit routes, it's going to just promote individuals to maybe want to, let's just say that they want more HEX, and they just create a liquidity pool with let's just say token B, for instance. They made that liquidity pair, but let's just say that these tokens do outperform in the short term. Let's just say in 10 days, that liquidity pair of $100 went up to $1,000. It did a 10x. Then those people, they can extract that liquidity. They're getting more HEX, and they're not really affecting the chart, they're not affecting the chart of the whole, unless, of course, they sell their token B token after they pull that liquidity. But essentially, they're just getting more HEX. So it's just like, there's different games, and it's just a great learning experience for people learning about, or new people learning about crypto, if they can wrap their heads around it.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is probably, if you're trying to learn liquidity pools, liquidity pairs, anything with liquidity, not many people got that opportunity on Ethereum, because Ethereum had massive gas fees, so it wasn't too much of incentivization. I got lucky because I was on Ballast and Binance Smart Chain, so I got into it. I was able to learn it. For you guys, the best way to really learn this stuff is get in on a token day one, add liquidity to it, and mess around. Or you can take 2 stable coins, pair them up together, and watch them grow. That's the traditional example. But in my opinion, with these new tokens you guys are launching out, this is a great opportunity to create an LP, whether it's between some other coin or a coin with high volume like Wrap Pulse. So, man, this is really exciting. So when can we expect this airdrop rolling out? Don't know. Can't release it.
Well, it's just like, let's just say it's in testing phase. It's on testnet.
Okay.
So literally, like, we asked them to start doing it on Saturday. We sent over, it was just like, all right, can you do this? All right, sounds good. And then on Monday, we messaged them. We're like, so how long do you think it's going to? I think it's going to be ready by tomorrow. We're like, what? We just made proposals, you know. But yeah, it's in the testing phase. We just want to make sure that the contracts are operating correctly on the buys and sells. And yeah, man, like that's why I keep on saying, like, we're not going to say when the snapshot's going to be, because like our devs are just going to be doing it, and I don't want to be like, or the devs like messaging, oh yeah, we did the snapshot like 4 hours ago, and then we're like, oh, okay, so it's just like, it's better in this rate, and it's more of a speculation. So he was like, did I stake? Oh, or you're telling your buddy, he's just like, oh, you need to buy this and stake this because you get a free airdrop, so you get free money and you're getting rewards, and you have your own miner.
Yeah, miner. Did well, my next question is, did the gray aliens create these tokens? Is there any connection?
Let's just say the all right, I'm just going to say this. The 808's very, very smart. A very, very smart individual. That's all I'm going to say. That's the only thing I can't say.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know. I was making a joke about aliens. That's all. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good, man. You're good. It was just, yeah. So, all right. So let's go through some of these comments. We got a bunch going up. So shout out to the Grace Currency on here. Locoto, pTGC will have more funds than the OA. Let's freaking go. InvestX. Big fan of InvestX. Seen and heard of Grays when I was on. Okay, all right. I don't know if I want to be talking about that.
What do you say? I
seen and heard Grays when I was on mushrooms. There was small ones, big ones, holding hands, walking over the cliffside by the oceans. That's actually the funniest comment. Hey, shout out to Viber Finance. Let's freaking go. Good to see ya. Greg jumped into that. Oh, yeah. Shaka vibes. Awesome. The scientific mathematical principles underlying pTGC are truly remarkable. I anticipate that we will witness cumulative gains that begin to occur at a level surpassing our expectations. I love that. That was very well articulated. Shaka vibes is smart, man.
Yeah, he's actually finally got to meet him on the VC after our space yesterday. We actually had a pretty good turnout. We had like 3 projects come up, and what we're going to be doing on a weekly basis, we might even go to about 2 days a week, where it just gives the opportunity for meme tokens, the sacrifice projects to come in and to be like, to make a proposal to like burn liquidity, or maybe add liquidity, and then see how you guys do, type of thing. It's like it's kind of like I'll give you an example, like the haters came in.
Haters. I love you, man.
Yeah, but basically it's like day 2, and it's like there was 100,000. Like he was like, came up, great enthusiasm, spoke very well, but it was just like, yeah, it's a meme. It's like $100,000 in volume, only one liquidity pool, and I just asked the question. I'm like, so what's going to happen at day 6 or day 7? The laws of meme coins, bro. And I was like, what is that volume level? So if we like burnt $1,000 worth of liquidity, and you guys just die, it's just like, that's not the type of like liquidities that we would want to like just burn out of existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the example for like Mega, the reasons why we did that, it was more of I'm pretty I'm pretty good friends with the devs over there and have an understanding of kind of like the whole framework of what they're trying to be doing. But there was the most eyes and the most ETH guys, and essentially we want to try to bring on as many of those ETH individuals and cult DAO people, and actually Goo God is actually doing a tremendous job actually talking to the cult DAO people that understand what's the operation and what's actually happening with all the liquidities, bringing them over onto Pulsechain, and just loving what kind of like the ideas coming into place on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I think Cold DAO, there's a lot of community members from that community come over to the Pulse chain. Believe it or not, they actually had a DAO proposal to get into Pulse and PulseX right when it launched. And I think the proposal was 1 or 2 years. And at the end of the proposal, the SEC sues Pulse chain and the thing just went down. And I saw that, I was like, oh, dang. But still, I think what Mega's doing is awesome. They're getting into, I believe they're doing an NFT pass collection. They're doing a burn bot. They're going to the Bitcoin conference. The amount of onboarding those guys are doing over there is phenomenal. And I'm a big fan of Mega. Plus, they have awesome price stability. All right, coach. You knew this was coming. Catch a key golf course. Purchase incoming for pTGC aliens. I forgot to ask you this question, but hey, there's a little rumor going around. I'm pretty sure you started with that with Adam or someone else started, but something about a DAO buying a golf course and building Hexago. What do you think?
Well, first off, I gotta say, we me and Viber, we got a lot of hopium on the stream. A community member was like, "Yeah, there's a golf course that's like $2.8 million, like right down the road. They're selling it," and then we pull it up, and it's just like gorgeous, just like pro shop. It has a lake. There's 3 houses. There's pickleball courts. It's just like, it was like basically a private and 15,000 acres of land too.
Wow.
And basically before, so I guess the owners got in a plane crash or something like that. Something happened, and the kids are just trying to sell it. But like we were like thinking, it was like, how can we make this happen? Could we do this? And then like Saka came in and he's like, yeah, that's like the definition of a security. And I was like, God damn it. And then it just got me thinking. I was like, it would be like such a good marketing tactic to actually do something like that. And then it was kind of funny. The next day, I was having a meeting with actually an individual about like kind of like structuring some kind of like LLC or some kind of framework to help or be some kind of business entity and try to structure it in some kind of way where there could be different avenues. So like we can connect Web 2 and Web 3, still figure out all that kind of stuff. But there is myself and himself it was like we worked on another project about a year ago together, and the lawyer that they had kind of was actually a pretty well-known lawyer from the XRP lawsuit case. So he's very entwined with crypto. But yeah, I was like talking to him, and he was like mentioning some of the things about it's possible, it's just, I don't know exactly if it could be correlated with pTGC as the DAO, or how you would fund it. But I don't know. We got a think tank. We're going to figure it out. I'm not going to really focus too much on that conversation, but like you never know. So like what I was like wanted to add to like the 3 tokens. So essentially what I'm thinking what this is going to do, it's going to help out pTGC. And actually I was couldn't sleep last night. I think I was up until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And of course, got a wake up call at 5 o'clock by my kids, like, wake up, Dad. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, there is like, it's not going to be okay. I want everybody to understand the language that I'm going to try to use right now. It's not exactly, but it is a possibility. And I'm going to tell the reasonings behind that. So TGC could possibly be some kind of stable in a sense. I'm putting the quotation marks. So if you guys are not watching the video, I'm putting quotations. And the reason why I say this, if we do get to, of course, non-financial advice, but let's just say that we do get traction and we keep on or the market cap keeps on going up and up and up. Guess what? The liquidities are going to do the same thing. It's going to go up and up and up. So those Dow funds, instead of about $2,000 to $4,000 on a daily basis coming in, and hopefully everybody there's no bad actors that tries to come in and do shady stuff or whatnot. You know what I mean? But having all this liquidity pools with HEX, and we first focus on the base, and then once we've finished with the base projects that we want to be connected, which is going to have the most uptick and longevity on Pulsechain, there can be different avenues of people building on top of pTGC and launching their own coins through there. So like basically what I'm trying to say is like the whole the ratios and stuff like that, it's going to be like an accordion type of thing. So like if there's like sells or buys, it's going to be like this, and it's do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So the best way to say is that when you spread out pTGC and multiple liquidity pools, it basically spreads out the sell pressure. And so the main point, I think what you're trying to say is when we get closer to the high of the bull market and the price starts to stabilize, you're going to have all these liquidity pools where the sell pressure is going to be divided across, and it's going to be much more difficult for the price to go down all at once, like we see with traditional tokens. Like, for example, like tokens like Uniswap have a massive LP pool between Ethereum. People go through and just sell. In order to sell down the price of pTGC, you got to sell across like 50 different LPs. That's kind of hard, right? So I know what you mean. And the idea is when you have the burn liquidity pools in that 000369 wallet, that's just liquidity sitting there building a price floor. And the thicker that liquidity gets in that burn wallet address, the higher the price will go. And as the liquidity continues to grow, the price will grow, and we'll actually get a stabilized price going on to the future. Hopefully I explained that. What do you think about that?
That's better.
Yeah. So I think what you're trying to say by stable is that when we get a price floor, it's going to be much higher from where we started, not financial advice. And that's what's being designed right now behind pTGC with the burn liquidity pools. Because you guys got to understand, when you burn a liquidity pair between two tokens, it's removed out of circulation, but it's also still doing that work behind those two tokens in that burn wallet address. And when people go through and they buy, for example, HEX to pTGC, you have to pay a fee on that. And part of that fee goes into that liquidity pool that's burnt. And as those fees are collected, it actually grows the size of the liquidity pool and actually removes some of these tokens and becomes more and more valuable. And so what we see with pTGC is something that we've also seen with A1A. We also see with Atropa and pDAI, and that's the power behind these liquidity pools in this past bear market. So essentially, what Coach X is saying is, when we set up these tokens, it's going to make the ecosystem much better, much more efficient, and it's also going to help with the price floor going on the foreseeable future. So yeah, man, definitely really exciting to see that stuff. And thanks for that quick breakdown. Now let's see if we got any more. Gouda, Degenerate pDAI. What's up, my man? It's good to see you. Fiber Finance, good to see you as well. Let's see. Anything else? It's almost too good to make it true, but it will happen. So all right. Well, cool. Good stuff, man. I think that was a great live stream. I think we really got into pTGC. Is there anything else you want to talk about with pTGC? Anything to expect? Anything on the roadmap, et cetera, et cetera?
So like Saka was actually asking about like the white paper that's still being written out, and it's honestly with the white paper, we can, as my buddy the founder, they can have a vision and they can have an expectation, but really when it comes down to a DAO, it's the community and what the community wants to do. And there's other plans in the future. There's definitely, and one of the like the ideas, and I want to give the understanding to everybody here, is just like, once we get to the point where we're doing $500,000 in volume, $1 million of volume, with not just like, when I say $1 million of volume, that's not just one pair. That's all the pairs put together. We're going to be receiving about $20,000 a day in that DAO. If we do that consistently, which is say 7 days, 7 days in a row, do $1 million of volume. I'm just hypothetically, guys. That is $140,000 in 1 week, and then that's $640,000 in 1 month. So with and that's all in Pulse. You know what I mean? So we can like literally just have, if it gets to that point, if we want to keep on like burning liquidity, we can burn as much liquidity as we want, and we just burn it to get to like the $50 million market cap, $100 million market cap, and essentially maybe at some point in time, like B Roos has always like said, like, think of a number and then times it by like 1,000x. So, and in my head, I've actually put a number together, and I did a lot more than 1,000x. I did a couple of thousands, and yeah. And like, honestly, like going into the chats and stuff like that, and seeing individuals like just trying to find the next, like, were you in Knights? Were you in the Bored Ape Yacht Club that just rugged and all that kind of stuff? And it's just like they're trying to find the next best thing. It's just like, when you actually have like conviction and like a dev or developers or the founders or people part of the team, people should be betting on the team to actually taking stuff to the next level. And I feel like we're going to get, or it's, the aliens are just going to multiply. It's already happening. It's already happening. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man, you know, I really like this project because in my head, the best way to conceptualize it is it's very similar to a decentralized investment DAO. And the reason why I say that is because when you have these LPs with these other tokens, If HEX moves, pTGC is going to move. If Wrap Pulse moves, pTGC is going to move. If pDAI hits $1, pTGC is going to go to the freaking moon. So
there will be $7 million in liquidity. So as of right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way for me to think about it is whether you like it or not, there's a price correlation between this token and a lot of your favorite tokens. It's just that not many people put it together. And that's what I love about it, because rather than, try to chase the shiny objects, and don't get me wrong, out of all the people on Pulsechain, I'm probably one of the biggest degenerates right next to B Roots. So I kind of get I'm
a degen too.
So. Okay, you too. Yeah, you too, and Adam. I mean, we're all okay. We're all on the same level. But the problem is when you take it to like a different extreme with, like, for example, the Pulse Board Yacht A Club or whatever. I obviously knew that wasn't going to work out, but I think sometimes you got to take it back to home and realize that we still have the pDAI pegging. We got some good stuff coming on with A1A. We got pTGC, and we got all this other good stuff that still has yet to see a bull market. So that's why I'm really, really excited, man. And so I got all your stuff down in the bio below. Guys, please check out pTGC. It's a cryptocurrency developed by the Grays. It's absolutely awesome. The development team has been creating some really great utility, and the community has been growing. And so I'm really excited to see this project build out. And Coach X, man, we always got to get you back on the live stream again, man. Talk more about this and, maybe talk about some philosophical stuff, because you always run through some stuff on your Twitter spaces. So,
well, we can talk about flat Earth if you want. We can talk about the firmament. Not right now. I gotta go, but soon.
All right. Yeah, we gotta do a stream on that. So yeah, I gotcha. Cool. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up, and like I said, guys, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Check out pTGC, and we'll catch you in the next one. So good stuff.